Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to another episode of the second Reproduction. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because that would mean the whole world to me. And afterwards, or after this video if you liked it, hit that like button too. Alright, let's jump in. We're gonna go out. Let's see, it's round 2, month 4. Let's go to the courtyard. Isn't that... Didn't you hear me? I thought I told you to buy a huge cake. My apologies, sir, but that was the biggest cake left. If they've sold out of big cakes, then make one yourself, you idiot. You expect this pathetic excuse of a cake to have any use to me? What should I do, huh? Since your ears obviously don't work anymore, how about we chop them off? Actually, let's just cut off your head and get rid of your moronic brain while we're at it. Hee! Oh my, Lord Jin, whatever's the matter? Oh, Kadia, you came at a good time. Do you have an idea for a good location? Location? Well, we don't have much time left. Or we don't have much time. Let's walk while we talk. Is it for Chris's birthday? Go back to the courtyard. It was evening, and I was about to walk past the courtyard when I suddenly noticed someone approaching. I gasped and quickly looked away, recognizing him almost immediately. Good evening, Lady Christina. What a coincidence. I was just looking for you. For me? I blinked in confusion at Jin, who was looking at me with his usual smile. For some reason, I got the impression he was in a much better mood than usual. I'd been avoiding him ever since the incident with Gardas, just because things felt so awkward between us, but he didn't seem angry with me or anything. Feeling somewhat confused, I wondered if something wonderful had happened to him, so I let out a sigh and faced him properly. A friend of mine gave me a cake not too long ago, but it's too big for me to finish on my own, so I was wondering if you'd like to eat it with me. He said that while holding a small cute paper box in his hand. It looked like his friend had given him a whole cake, which was definitely too big for someone to eat by themselves. You don't like cake? No, I love it actually. It's just... Are you sure I can eat it? Of course. It's my way of saying sorry for the other day. You mean... Let's get going, shall we? Hey! I felt like he was telling me to stop thinking and start doing. Before I could finish my sentence, he grabbed my hand and started walking. Jin? Yes? Your hand? You don't like holding hands. It's not that I don't. So you don't have a problem with it? Well, no, but... Even though we'd already fallen in bed together, I'd never actually held hands with Jin until now. It felt unbearably embarrassing. What's wrong? We've done much worse things than this, remember? What? Oh, what are you talking? Don't look at me like that. You're so cute I might eat you before the cake. I'm not doing any of that today, okay? You say that now. Let go of me, you idiot! I'm not going anymore. Such lovely weather we're having today. Don't ignore me on purpose. Why would I ignore you? I always listen carefully to every word you say. Stop! Shocked by the sudden noise, I turned around and saw a man running towards us, his hands half bound and a soldier chasing behind him. Fuck off! The man knocked into Jin as he passed, sending the cake box flying out of his hands. It fell to the floor with a sickening splat, the cake's fate evident. What's his problem anyway? What a rude man! Are you alright, Jin? Uh-oh, he's angry. Dare he? Huh? Oh no! A faint murmur ran through the air, and the temperature suddenly plummeted. A chill ran down my spine. Before I could react, Jin snapped his fingers, and a huge rush of energy went flying towards the man. Suddenly, the man fell to the floor, forced down by something. Aren't you... How are you going to pay for this? All that effort I spent finding the cake has all gone to waste now. My apologies, sir. We caught a leftover bandit from the other day, but he managed to escape somehow. I'm not interested in that. God, if you hadn't tied him up so badly, he wouldn't have escaped, would he? Jin finished tying the crook up as he spoke, his skill apparent in his technique, and the knot looking a lot tighter than it needed to be. Amazing! I wonder if he's had special training. Oh, he's probably practiced. Come on, let's go. We're wasting our time now. Okay. Oh, I can't believe this. It's ruined. I should have beaten that crook to a pulp. Come on now, don't get angry. It'll still taste the same, won't it? Well, I guess I won't mind if you don't, but still. For God's sake, I thought, just once, for the sake of... He said he wouldn't mind, but it was clear he still held a grudge against that thief. As Jin grumbled to himself, he scooped the crumbled cake onto plates. As I watched him from across the table, I was suddenly reminded of the magic powers he displayed, and the skill he'd used to tie up the thief. You're really skilled, you know. Skilled? The skill you used to tie up that man. I learned how to do it when I joined the army, but I can't tie someone up as perfectly as that. Jin suddenly looked down at his plate and stayed very still, as if something had just appeared in his mind. Wondering if I asked something I shouldn't have, I tilted my head and opened my mouth, but Jin responded before I could, a wide smile on his face. How about I teach you then? You will? Yes, I'm sure you'll pick it up fast since it's you. Great. Then you have to teach me. It might come in handy someday. Okay, hold out your hands. Like this? Oh no. Yes, perfect. See this? Just wrap it around here. Okay. And like this. Right? There. Now you can't get out. It's true, I can't. My hands won't move no matter what. This really is an advanced trick. Indeed. Now, shall we get started on the cake? Sure, untie me. How about I do that later? But if you don't untie me, I can't eat the cake. I'll feed it to you. No need. I can eat it myself, so hurry up and untie. I'll feed you. Oh. When Jin looked at me like that, I knew he wouldn't give in no matter what. He was smiling, but his eyes were deadly serious, as if lit by a dangerous yet seductive fire. At times like this, he won't listen to me no matter what, so it's best to just give in and let him do what he wants. I really am starting to understand him. Fine, but just one spoonful, okay? Then you'd better untie me. All right, 1 spoonful. He scooped up a large chunk of cake, far too big to count as a spoonful, and reached over with a satisfied smile on his face. Not that much. Oh, a princess can only eat a little bit at a time. If it were me, I could swallow it in 1 bite. I'm not trying to be posh. You know. Then this isn't a problem, right? Of course not. I knew he was manipulating me, but I didn't want him to make fun of me, calling me a typical weak princess or something. I hated it when people did that. Okay, say ah. Is that really something a man should be saying? You'd better hurry. I might have to stuff it in if you don't open your mouth wide enough. Fine, I get it. Well done. Here's your reward. Unsurprisingly, it was far too big for my mouth, and white cream ended up dripping down my front. I scowled, the cream leaving a sticky sensation on my skin as I opened my mouth to protest. Bad girl. You shouldn't be so messy. Wait! What are you You got it all over yourself, so I'm helping you clean up. Can't you just wipe it off? Not at all. That would be a waste. Don't! Jin! It was no use. He had his arm around me and the cream was everywhere. The cold surface of the cream mixed with the texture of his warm, moist tongue. Such a delicious cake. His tongue traveled from my neck to my ear, making me believe for a split second that I actually was a cake. His licking sounded incredibly obscene, forcing me to try and turn my head away in embarrassment. But before I could, Jin covered his fingers with cream and slid them into my mouth, holding me still. He curled around my mouth with his middle and index fingers, still licking my neck the whole time. Everything slowly began to blur. Would you like some more? You're adorable, Christina. I wish you always wanted me like this. The fingers in my mouth made me long for more oxygen, and that, combined with his touch, made my mind go blank. I couldn't think. My head was completely empty, and of course, I couldn't taste the cake anymore. Well, dang. I guess we're gonna go to the pub. Welcome. We're gonna drink wine and chat. Gah, for God's sake, young people these days have no guts to them. No guts at all. There'll never be a warrior strong enough to inherit Sadal Melik. Never. Oh, what's wrong, Raviel? You look a bit down today. Oh, Lady Christina, what perfect timing! What is it? To tell the truth, I'm trying to find a mentor for my soldiers, but it's not going very well. If you have a free moment, could you take a look at them? Are you sure I'm the right person for the job? There's no one more suited than you, Lady Christina, and I'm sure a beautiful lady like you would make a bigger impression than an old man like me. You're complimenting me too much, but if you insist, I'll happily lend a hand. Thank you very much. With your help, I'm sure I'll find someone in there to inherit Sadal Melik. Sadal Melik? It's a large scythe once wielded by Lord Helvety, past general of the demon army and a man many called the Black Wind. A demon as immensely powerful as Lord Helvety could forge his own magic and spirit into a weapon, but these days only Lord Gardas and Lord Jin can do that. Such weapons normally disappear once their master dies, but for some reason, Sadalmek didn't. I'm sure it's because he held strong feelings for Demon Lady Risti and Deathride, so they remained behind in the form of a weapon. So, you inherited the scythe from him, Raviel? No, I'm the third owner. The previous one was Heldevy's sister, the girl general Lady Male. So the scythe carries the hopes and wishes of veteran warriors. Indeed it does. Hence why I can't let some half-hearted moron have it. I see. I'll come again soon. See you then. End of the Rose Garden. Isn't that... We picked up 30 coal. A whole day goes by so quickly. I should go to bed. What's the matter? Where are you? one of my cats has, major zooms. I have no idea where he is. Bucky! Where are you? Who meowed? Was it Bucky or was it you, Shane? Buddy, you still have like an hour and 20 minutes before your food. Yeah. You're okay. Hi. Oh. Are you still shook because Grandpa was here? Yeah. Anyways. So, did anything happen this morning? And nothing significant in Death Ride, but... Did something happen elsewhere? Yes, something troubling happened in Almanen. Almanen? Apparently, a small wildfire started near its border and... Princess! Lizette, are you okay? You look pale. It's about the fire. I heard from a few people in the capital that it might have been started on purpose, and most of the villages along the border were leveled. What? Along the border? Doesn't that mean... That's where my village is. I'm sorry, Princess, but could you please give me permission to go there? I know it might be too late, but... Lizette, I know this is scary, but you need to calm down. If you go by yourself, you'd just be diving into the fire. It's affected a wide area, remember? Yes, but... So, let's talk to Gardas about it first. If we're going to leave the capital, then it'll be easier if we get his permission first. Princess. Okay, that's our plan for today. Kidia, we're leaving. Okay, take care on your way out. Will do. Come on, Lizette. Yes, Princess. Excuse me, Gardas, are you in? I was expecting you, actually. Gardas, I'm sure you heard about the wildfire along Almanen's border. You see, Lizette's home is... Oh, about that. We've safely escorted them out. What? See, they're over there. Let me go, damn it! Now, don't do that, it's dangerous. Don't do that, Phil, or he might get... Philip! Mary! Why are you two... Or what are you two doing here? I brought them here, you see. Ah, Lizette! You did? Yes, the others are in the city. Lizette, our homes... Mary! These guys must have caused the fire, I'm sure of it. Did they catch you too, Lizette? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and beat them to a pulp. Philip, stop it. Think for just a moment. Did they treat you badly on the way here? But they're... Lizette... It's okay, Mary. You don't have to worry. Everyone's safe here. Okay. Gardas, what about the other villagers? They're safe and well, without a single injury. It's all thanks to Jin and his excellent handling. Well, you did give me an imperial order. Anything less than perfect would be unacceptable. And it wasn't all plain sailing either. The soldier I sent over to convince them returned with bite marks all over him. Luckily, they calmed down once we mentioned Sir Lizette's name. You sound like a villain using a hostage's name to blackmail his victims. Our goal was to protect them, but this is an unfortunate side effect of taking in subjects from other kingdoms. Of course, they'll see us as evil at first. This is no different to kidnapping. Philip, stop it! They'll get angry. See? We brought these to you because they wouldn't believe us no matter what. I see. I'm sorry about this and thank you. It's fine, but it was a close call. Jen, Kadia said that the wildfire might have been started on purpose. Is that true? I think so. It started and stopped rather unnaturally, so I'm assuming arson for now. I'm glad things ended the way they did. I was worried this was a warning from Almanin. A warning? Well done, Jin. Oh no, you don't need to thank me. Both the rescue and the escape went so smoothly. There was really no effort to it. There's honestly nothing to worry about. Oh, by the way, Sir Lizette's family is currently taking shelter near Deathride's borders. I'd recommend paying a visit to them. We've explained the situation as best as we could, but they're probably still worried about you. Yeah, you're right. Not only was their home ruined, but they were torn out of their own kingdom by a bunch of bloodthirsty demons, eager to drag them into their own evil lands. Am I right, little one? Bleh! Philip! What? Well, I imagine it's quite difficult for them to get their heads around, you know. Thank you for your concern. Okay, I'm escorting you two to your room. What do you think you're doing? Lizette? It'll be fine, Mary. Philip, be good, okay? The people here are all really nice. Lizette? Okay, but we'll meet again soon, won't we? Of course we will. Okay. You said it yourself, Lizette. You'd better not be lying. Haha, I'm not. Don't worry. Fine. Lizette, I suppose we'll see you later? Yeah. Good. Let's go then. Please excuse us. Heterodoxism is really strong around Almanin's borders, so it'll be difficult for your family to accept this. Maybe, but if I explain it to them personally... Well, yeah, it'll be difficult for them to change their views now, but in the end, they're still my family. So don't worry about it, Princess. I'm sure they'll at least understand that demons aren't bad people once I speak to them. Really? Yeah, I believe in all the demons I've met here, and all the people who inhabit Deathride. Okay then, there's nothing more for me to say. What's so funny all of a sudden? Nothing. I just like how easily humans can change if they want to. Are you being sarcastic? No, I'm praising you. It's quite rare for me to praise something, you know. Just as well, really, being praised by you feels really creepy. Such merciless words. Because I know I don't have to hold back around you. Still. Thank you. You have my utmost gratitude for saving my village. You know, sometimes you're so honest it's embarrassingly stupid. Hey! What was that for? I was thanking you from the bottom of my heart. Just telling the truth. Anyway? You two taught me something valuable, that humans could still change despite their short lifespan. So I should be the one thanking you. Gardas! What? Now I know what you mean by honesty being embarrassingly stupid sometimes. Good for you. Alright, Deathride 5th month. Let's go! Jin keeps acting strangely. It was a sunny afternoon, and Gardas and I were having tea under a bright blue sky. He must have noticed the scowl I made back when he asked me to drink some wine with him, so this time, he said he had my favorite black tea, and indeed he did. Gardas was a much more honest man than a certain someone I know. If I said that in front of Jin, he'd probably complain and say something rude about me back. It's not so strange, or it's not so much strange as, well, once in a while he'll... So that started happening. Or more like he started acting like that because of you, huh? Looks like he has taken quite a liking to you. Huh? Jin only started acting that way 10 years ago, ever since his sister died. Really? Yes, he's actually a very passionate man. He used to be the type who acted on his feelings all the time. Doesn't he still do that though, as in all the time? Only around you. His weird actions are probably an attempt to mimic his father. That way he can play the role of the perfect prime minister and get rid of his own personality.
Jin's father?
Yes. Jin's father was a man who supported the Queen of Darkness, Reza, or the Bloody Prime Minister, as many called him. Jin grew up gazing at his back and admired him greatly.
Did you just say Reza? The same Reza who came over from the world of darkness who found Deathride with the Queen of Darkness 1,000 years ago?
Huh. You paid attention during your history classes. Yes, that's the man I'm talking about.
What a person to have as your father! Well, Gardas was the Queen of Darkness's grandson too. That's pretty amazing as well.
Indeed, his heritage makes him closer to a pureblood demon than I am.
So that's why he's so strong.
By the way, Christina. Why are you so interested in Jin?
Because it's, because of, that!
Because of what?
You see, we're all working together, aren't we? So isn't it natural for us to try and get to know each other?
Working together, you say? Well, you're working with me too. Don't you want to know more about yours truly?
Huh?
I'm saying you need to give me an equal chance too.
What do you mean by?
Lord Gardas, it's time for your meeting. You certainly know how to kill the mood, don't you? My apologies, Your Highness. However, Lord Jin is waiting for you. My, someday I wonder if he's getting in my way on purpose. Anyway, Chris, I'll make some of this excellent black tea again tomorrow.
Great, thank you. Play the role of the perfect prime minister, huh? He's a good actor, that's for sure. But the fact that he'd had even me fooled just showed how deep his determination and sorrow ran. It would be nice if he loosened up a bit when we were alone. Wait, what am I even thinking about? It's not like we're lovers or anything. I was sure Jin would sneer if I ever tried to say that to him. Good thing he's not here, I suppose. I wonder what he'd say if he overheard what me and Gardas said about him. My apologies for disturbing you, but are you Lady Christina by any chance? Yes, I am. Is something the matter? Before me stood a female demon I'd never seen before. Assuming she was new, I turned around to greet her and... Someone asked me to deliver a letter here. A letter? She handed me the envelope, and I looked up, about to ask who the sender was, but she was already walking out of the garden. I assumed she was probably busy and quickly opened the envelope. Let me see. I'm the leader of the group of bandits who you wiped out the other day, remember us? If you cherish the hostage's life, come to the cave at the foot of the mountain alone. If you tell anyone about this, the hostage will... die! From the other day? Oh, they must be the thieves me and Jin caught. So this is their revenge? Regardless of what their goals were, they'd obviously kidnapped some of the townspeople from the capital, and I couldn't just ignore that. They mentioned that I had to go alone, so they probably assumed a lone woman would be easier to handle. I could take advantage of that and strike them when they least expected it. My strength was no match for Gardas, but it was more than enough to deal with small fries like them. Despicable cowards! I'll finish each and every one of you! And with that, I headed out to the cave without anyone knowing. Huh. A short ass like you beat up my boys. Huh, you look a lot weaker than I thought. There were around a dozen men waiting inside the cave for me, all with keen eyes and lustful expressions. Sitting in the middle of them was a man, his posture like a king on his throne. As he eyed me up, I quickly assumed he was the leader. And the woman standing next to him like a toy was obviously the hostage. "I'm here, just like you asked. Now let her go." "Fine by me. There you go." "Kya?" The leader kicked the woman and I caught her just in time, quickly pushing her behind me. I expected him to drag things out, but he handed her over immediately. He was probably underestimating me because of my gender. I glared at the man and prepared myself, my hand reaching for my sword, but suddenly... A dull pain exploded through the back of my head, making me fall to the ground head first. Through my blurred vision, the last thing I could make out was the smirk of the woman behind me.
Lady Christina disappeared. Yes, so I wondered if you had any idea where she went. Why, me? I'm sure you know her much better than I do, correct? I did once, but things have changed now. What do you mean by that? I've known the princess for over 3 years now, and I could tell she's fallen for someone recently. If you truly love the princess, then I won't say anything more, but if you don't... How did the bird of Crofts cry at the end? What? You saw it yourself, didn't you? So how about you tell me? How did you... Very soon after you both arrived, I enjoyed some exquisite fruit, and when I looked deep inside, I found something rather interesting. You... A chill ran down the knight's spine, and his voice trembled with his body. The red-eyed Prime Minister gave a beautiful smile, seemingly amused by his reaction. That spell originally belonged to us demons, though it was rather high level and only a few could use it perfectly. It's an art that's passed down through generations. So, Sir Lizette, did you know what my father's, the bloody Prime Minister's, most powerful ability was? Don't tell me! You too? Two? Don't compare my abilities to that pathetic attempt at spellcasting. If I'd been the one to do it, it would never start collapsing like that. Fear not, Sir Lizette, for as long as she's with me, I'll keep her mind at ease. Oh, my apologies for interrupting you earlier. What were you going to do if I didn't truly love her? Nothing. Nothing at all. I see. Well, I still have lots of work to do, so may I excuse myself? You're not her favorite anymore. He murmured that for an instant, facing the closed door. Then he turned around and walked away. She said she'd come visit him this afternoon. He'd already wasted a lot of time this morning, but if Jin started preparing now, he could probably finish just before she arrived. Her favorite tea leaves and biscuits were laid out on the table, and he couldn't wait to see her delighted expression. In truth, Jin never really liked sweet things, but if he ate them with her, he soon found himself enjoying them, the unpleasant taste quickly vanishing. How mysterious. But as if to pour cold water on his heart, someone knocked on the door. Jin clicked his tongue and responded in his usual calm voice. Come in. I'm sorry for disturbing you, but there's a letter for you, Lord Jin. Okay, thank you. You may leave. I wonder who it's from. Tilting his head as he spoke, Jin quickly pulled the letter out and unfolded it. What? The temperature in the room suddenly plummeted, cracks snapping across the windows from the sudden change. The teacup she was going to use broke too, as if terrified. Oh, you finally woke up. You're... I winced, waves of intense pain running through my head. I blinked a few times to get rid of my blurry vision, then glared at the man in front of me with all of my strength. I wanted to teach him a lesson, but my arms and legs were bound, and all I could do was crawl like a caterpillar.
If you want revenge, then why won't you just kill me?
Don't be stupid. We want a ransom off your boyfriend first. Then he has to free our boys.
What did you say to Jin?
Guess. We're told to give up his life. Or we've told him to give up his life and money if he wants your freedom.
Huh. Too bad for you, then. Jin isn't my boyfriend, and he won't come save a woman he doesn't care about. That's right. To Jin, I'm just...
Huh, we'll see about that. If he doesn't turn up, then we'll just sell you somewhere and find some other way to kill him.
Why do you hate Jin so much?
That guy has caused us nothing but trouble in the past. I can't just stand and watch while he arrests our boys. Enough's enough, you know what I mean?
How lame. So it's just revenge.
Look at it this way. The kingdom's a shithole and we want some fun in our lives. Anything wrong with that? We do what we want and steal what we want. Wine, money, and of course women.
The man knelt down in front of me and forced me to look at him. Then he tore my coat and shirt open. Don't touch me!
Boss, if the hostage gets hurt... Shut up. I just want a quick taste.
No!
His hands wander under my clothes. I felt so disgusted, I fought the desire to throw up. Goosebumps running all over my body.
I don't want to be violated by the likes of you. I'd rather...
Kill myself? That's not what you're trying to say.
Jin?
At last, the actors are all on stage. I was getting tired of waiting. Now where's the money? We'll get to that. Please release the 2 hostages first.
2? I quickly glanced across the room and saw the woman from earlier tied up again. Before I could scream a warning to Jin, the man covered my mouth with his hand. I struggled, trying to throw him off, but then an odd aroma overwhelmed my senses, and my consciousness was quickly dragging me into darkness. I'd been drugged. No! Jin! I have to protect... Jin...
Alright, that woman first.
Oh, I was so scared, Lord Jin. Thank you so much. Now I can finally go home again. The woman threw herself into Jin's chest, every part the weak and feeble victim. Jin placed his hand on her shoulders, and with a charming smile and a calm voice he whispered,
Sorry, you won't be going home. You're going to hell instead.
No one could believe their eyes. They could only hear the gruesome sound of a long, silver object sliding through the woman's back, red liquid dripping onto the floor. Even their leader couldn't quite believe it. It took him several seconds to realize the silver object was a sword, and that the red liquid was blood. The whole thing happened too quickly. As Jin pulled out his blood-stained blade, the woman fell to the floor like a marionette, with its strings cut.
Your minions are really easy to recognize, you know.
When did he draw his sword? The leader was completely dumbfounded. Was it some kind of magic trick? An illusion? He couldn't help but stare at the Prime Minister in shock. His eyes had to be deceiving him, even though the bright blood dripping from the sword's tip told him otherwise. The smile on the murderer's face was just too out of place and too beautiful.
What the hell did you do? Are you out of your mind?
Indeed. I am acting rather out of character, but that's what love does to people, doesn't it?
Don't come near me, I'll kill her!
I owe you something, actually.
Huh?
Thanks to you, I finally worked out my own feelings. Therefore... let me repay you. I'll show you a path to hell so painful you'll wish you'd never been born. The only witness who survived was the slaughter was the full moon, who shone with its brightest radiance in the sky.
Are you alright, Lady Christina? Are you hurt?
Jin, you're safe!
Indeed, there's not a scratch on me.
What happened to the bandits?
What do you mean by that?
They're bad people, but there's a woman there too, and some of them look like they're barely out of their teens, so I'm a bit worried.
Even if she's a woman, a villain's a villain, and the ones who look like teenagers are still several times older than you. They're just in their first form.
But...
Don't worry, I handed them over to the government.
Oh.
By the way, Lady Christina.
Yes?
Would you like to tell me why exactly you went to that cave all by yourself?
Oh, I thought I told you not to smile like that when you're angry.
My, but if I'm angry, it means you've done something wrong, correct? I hope your brain isn't malfunctioning that much.
Huh? My brain isn't malfunctioning.
Then why did you go by yourself?
I thought I could handle them. I know I was being overconfident and I'm sorry about that, but I just didn't want you to get involved. And I didn't expect you to save me either.
Because I let my sister die 10 years ago?
No, of course not. It's just that to you, I'm...
precious.
Huh?
You're a precious woman to me. That's why I saved you.
Don't lie!
I'm not lying. I waited here for you to wake up, just to say that.
When he said that, I realized we were in front of his sister's grave. I calmed myself down and took in my surroundings, then saw that I was lying in Jin's arms. He had been watching me sleep this whole time? My face flushed with sudden embarrassment.
When I read that ransom note, just imagining what might have happened to you nearly made my heart stop. I never, ever want to go through that again.
Jin!
I've been afraid of love ever since my sister died. No, maybe even before that. Whenever I found something precious to me, I feared the day I would lose it forever. That's why I decided to only ever love 3 things. My kingdom, its king, Gardas, and my sister. But in the end, my sister... I thought I didn't deserve to love anyone else after that. So for the sake of my dead sister, I decided to live a life with my heart closed off, and I managed it for 10 years, too. But when you suddenly appeared before me, I found myself slipping. I wanted to fall in love with you.
What about now?
Huh?
You wanted to, but you didn't, right? You know, I've only been able to think about you for a while now.
But can you really accept a man like me?
You'd have your way with me even if I said no, wouldn't you?
You really do know me well.
Really? How do you plan on taking responsibility for this?
I, of course, plan to savor you for your whole life. I want to taste every single moment of it.
Aren't you afraid of indigestion?
Oh, you really shouldn't underestimate me like that. My love is fierce enough to melt the moon, you know.
Then I'll be looking forward to it. We smiled at each other for a while, then Jin's face grew serious. He turned to the gravestone, bowed his head, and murmured something.
Jillia, I've fallen in love with this woman, so please, forgive me. And I hope you'll give us your blessing from above. Now, let's go home. I've got some tea and biscuits waiting for you.
Having finished his report to his sister, Jin stood up, with me still cradled in his arms. I thought about protesting for a few moments, saying that I could walk by myself, but he held me so tightly I couldn't. I let out half a sigh, smiled, and wrapped my arms around his neck. Who has a tea party at midnight?
You don't like it?
I like it. If you're with me, I'll have fun no matter what we do. We smiled at each other again, but when I rested my head against his warm chest... Thank you. I could finally rest in peace. Huh? Is something wrong? I heard a voice just now. A voice? I didn't hear anything. Blue rose petals scattered themselves onto the white gravestone and quickly danced away soon after, caught by the wind. They took to the sky, a few brushing JIN'S cheek as they passed. So, you were the one asking me for help. It's nothing. And ever since then, the voice pleading for help disappeared from my dreams. Is that it? Okay, I don't know how much longer I have of this, but, I'm gonna stop here because I am all out of time. I'm sorry if the next episode of this is really short. We'll just have to deal with it. And yeah, so if you liked it, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!